It had been from the start a day of travail. He had risen too late after working too late the night before, a practice which had crept up on him since retirement last year. Discovering he had run out of coffee, he queued at the grocer's till he ran out of patience also, and haughtily decided to attend to his personal administration. His bank statement, which had arrived with the morning's post, revealed that his wife had drawn the lion's share of his monthly pension. Very well, he decreed. He would sell something. The response was irrational, for he was quite decently off, and the obscure city bank responsible for his pension paid it with regularity. Wrapping up an early edition of Grimmelshausen, nevertheless, a modest treasure from his Oxford days, he solemnly set off for Haywood Hill's bookshop in Curzon Street, where he occasionally contracted friendly bargains with the proprietor. On the way, he became even more irritable, and from a call box sought an appointment with his solicitor for that afternoon. "George, how can you be so vulgar? Nobody divorces Anne. Send her flowers and come to lunch." This advice bucked him up, and he approached Haywood Hill with a merry heart, only to walk slap into the arms of Roddy Martindale, emerging from Trumpers after his weekly haircut. Martindale had no valid claim on Smiley, either professionally or socially. He worked on the fleshy side of the Foreign Office, and his job consisted of lunching visiting dignitaries whom no one else would have entertained in his woodshed. He was a floating bachelor with a grey mane and that nimbleness which only fat men have. He affected buttonholes and pale suits, and he pretended on the flimsiest grounds to an intimate familiarity with the large back rooms of Whitehall. Some years ago, before it was disbanded, he had adorned a Whitehall working party to coordinate intelligence. In the war, having a certain mathematical facility, he had also haunted the fringes of the secret world, and once, as he never tired of telling, worked with John Lansbury on a circus coding operation of transient delicacy. But the war, as Smiley sometimes had to remind himself, was 30 years ago. "Hello, Roddy," said Smiley. "Nice to see you." Martindale spoke in a confiding, upper-class bellow of the sort which on foreign holidays had more than once caused Smiley to sign out of his hotel and run for cover. "My dear boy, if it isn't the maestro himself! They told me you were locked up with the monks in St. Gallen or somewhere, poring over manuscripts. Confess to me at once. I want to know all you've been doing, every little bit. Are you well? Do you love England still? How's the delicious Anne?" His restless gaze flicked up and down the street, before lighting on the wrapped volume of Grimmelshausen under Smiley's arm. "Pound to a penny, that's a present for her. They tell me you spoil her outrageously." His voice dropped to a mountainous murmur. "I say, you're not back on the beat, are you? Don't tell me it's all cover, George. Cover?" His sharp tongue explored the moist edges of his little mouth, then, like a snake, vanished between its folds.
"His name will be Hector, by the way," said adept little Luke, glancing up from his copy of the buff folder. "Is that a warning or a divine ordinance?" Perry asked from inside his spread hands, long after Luke had given up expecting a reply.